This is a mediocre story time with Toby. In early 2000, I moved to San Francisco from a small town in Virginia with my best friend, Jessica. And it was during the height of the .com, and there was really nowhere to live. So we ended up getting a place in the Excelsior, sight unseen, when we got the place. And I remember like moving in and looking around, and it was a very sketchy neighborhood to say the least. And it was controlled by a gang that ran like drugs and prostitution out of that area. So every time going to work, I was afraid, right? Like it was kind of scary to go outside, especially for this country boy. So after 4 or 5 months, I hadn't really met anybody, and I was pretty down. And one day on the number 9 bus, San Bruno, I was coming home, and I met a girl, and she lived pretty close to me, and she had roommates, and she invited me over, so I was super excited. I remember that day getting ready, and I wanted to bring them something, so I decided to make all these cupcakes. And I remember I only had pink icing, so I made all these like pink cupcakes. So I get the cupcakes, wearing my best outfit, and I'm heading outside and with this big tray of cupcakes. And while I'm walking, in my path is are the gang members, right? There's like eight guys, and I immediately like want to just cross the street, but they already see me coming, so I'm just like, well, fuck it, I got to do this thing. So I walk through them, and sure enough, they block my way and start kind of harassing me. And I instantly am just like, do you guys want a cupcake? And they're like, sure. And so I start giving them cupcakes. And I don't know why I did this, but this is like just stuff that I typically do for some unknown reason. But like the leader of the gang was getting me to take his first bite of cupcake, and I hit his hand, thus covering his face in pink icing. And I instantly say, oh, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Gang member. Instantly, everyone just starts cracking up laughing. And he starts laughing and like belly laughing. And then all of a sudden, like the tension is just dropped. And now they're like hitting me on the back and we're joking around and having a good time with each other. And so so they let me through, and I have, of course, some remaining cupcakes, and I tell the girl I just meet and her roommates a story. They're not too impressed, and it turns out like no, I didn't gel with them at all, and I never saw them after that event. But maybe a couple weeks later, I'm working late, and I get home, late Friday night, and I get out of my car, and then I get mugged, and someone's mugging me, and they're taking all my stuff, and I don't have anything of value except I have my grandfather's watch. He gave me the watch before he died, and it's the only thing of value. And I'm trying to plead with the guy not to take the watch, but he's taking the watch. And instantly I hear out of nowhere, "Don't fuck with Pink Cupcake." And the guy mugging me is like, I'm sorry, and starts giving me all my stuff back. And he actually takes the watch and he puts it back on my wrist, and he apologizes profusely to me, right? So from that day forward in the neighborhood, I was known as Pink Cupcake. And yeah, and me and my friend were very well protected from that movement forward. Thank you. This has been a mediocre story time with Toby Dixon.